The Viking Age began in the late 8th century, shaped by the harsh Scandinavian environment. Far from just raiders, Vikings were farmers, traders, explorers, and artisans from Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Their resilience and resourcefulness were born from poor soil and long winters. While raiding is what made them infamous, their societies were complex with rich cultures, laws, and artistry. The famous Lindisfarne raid in 793 was not their first venture abroad, but a bold announcement of their presence. For generations they had already been trading and exploring, building networks across Europe. Vikings were not a single nation, but diverse groups united by culture and language. Their success came from maritime skill, social organization, and a spirit of opportunity. They saw the world as a place of possibilities through both trade and plunder. To understand their wealth, we must see them as ambitious, skilled people navigating a tough world. This story is about how they used ingenuity and courage, not just violence, to build their fortunes. The Vikings' legacy is not just in what they took, but in what they created and connected. Let's explore the clever ways these remarkable people grew rich. Vikings gained wealth through both raiding and trading. Raiding brought quick riches. Monasteries and towns were easy targets, and their longships allowed surprise attacks deep inland. But Vikings were also shrewd merchants, using the same ships to transport goods across vast distances. They traded furs, amber, and crafted items connecting Scandinavia to Europe and the Middle East. Sometimes, the line between raiding and trading blurred. They might raid, trade, or demand payment for peace, like the Danegeld in England. This pragmatic approach let them adapt to each situation, maximizing profit and minimizing risk. Raiding provided the initial capital, but trading built long-term wealth and influence. Their fearsome reputation often secured better deals at the negotiating table. The combination of force and commerce made them dominant players in Northern Europe. Vikings were not mindless barbarians, they were opportunists, building a dynamic economy. Their wealth came from both the sword and the merchant's scales. This dual strategy was the foundation of their enduring success. Beneath the tales of raids, Viking society was rooted in farming. Most Vikings were farmers, growing crops and raising livestock to sustain their families. This agricultural base fed their warriors and enabled their adventures abroad. Craftsmanship was equally vital. Blacksmiths, woodworkers, and textile makers produced everything from tools to ships. Their artisans created goods prized across Europe: swords, jewelry, and everyday items for trade. Women's textile work was essential, providing sails and clothing. High-quality crafts and surplus food fueled both local life and overseas ventures. The farmstead was the heart of Viking life, supporting exploration and trade. Their wealth was built as much on what they made as what they took. Without farming and skilled hands, the Viking Age would never have set sail. Viking ships were the technological marvels that made their age possible. The longship, fast and flexible, could navigate both open seas and shallow rivers, enabling surprise raids and distant voyages. Cargo ships, or nars, carried goods and livestock across the North Atlantic, reaching as far as North America. Their shipbuilding used simple tools but advanced techniques. Clinker building created strong, light hulls. Overlapping planks, iron rivets, and waterproofing with tar made their vessels seaworthy and durable. Shipwrights' deep knowledge of wood and design gave Vikings a crucial edge. These ships were more than transport. They were symbols of power and ambition. Mastery of shipbuilding allowed Vikings to explore, trade, and conquer. Their vessels connected Scandinavia to the wider world. The Viking ship was the key to their wealth and influence. Vikings built vast trade networks, connecting Scandinavia to Europe, Byzantium, and the Islamic world. Eastern routes down the Volga and Dnieper rivers led to Constantinople and Baghdad, bringing immense wealth. They traded furs, walrus ivory, amber, and even slaves, exchanging them for silver, silk, and luxury goods. Silver coins from the east poured into Scandinavia, evidence of thriving commerce. Viking markets like Hedeby, Birka, and Kaupang became international hubs, bustling with merchants from many cultures. These towns were organized for trade, with workshops and warehouses lining the docks. The exchange of goods brought not just wealth, but new ideas and technologies. Vikings were strategic merchants, not just raiders. Their trade routes were the arteries of their economy. Markets turned daring journeys into tangible riches. commerce was at the heart of the Viking world. Viking success relied on teamwork and strategic planning. Raids and expeditions were organized by chieftains, with each crew member playing a vital role. Loyalty and shared rewards bound crews together, fostering cooperation. Alliances between chieftains created powerful fleets for larger ventures. Leaders gathered intelligence, planned routes, and timed attacks for maximum impact. Vikings used psychological warfare. Dragon-headed ships inspired fear before battle began. Their speed and adaptability allowed hit-and-run tactics and quick retreats. When faced with new challenges, they learned and adjusted, even adopting siege tactics when needed. Social cohesion and cunning strategy made them formidable. Wealth was shared to build loyalty and reputation. Teamwork and adaptability turned small bands into a force that shaped history. The Viking story offers timeless lessons for today. Their resourcefulness turned harsh conditions into opportunity, using simple tools to achieve great feats. Adaptability was key. They were raiders, traders, farmers, and craftsmen, ready to pivot as needed. Diversification made their economy resilient. Vikings built global networks long before the internet, understanding that wealth comes from connection and exchange. Their journeys brought new ideas and fostered collaboration across cultures. The value of a coin or a piece of silk was in the relationships it represented. Even now, success depends on resourcefulness, adaptability, and building strong networks. The Vikings